Good morning, beautiful souls. I hope you're having a great start to your Friday and jumping in with today's live video. We are talking about why your body is not healing. What's going on? One of the biggest reasons that I see why our bodies sometimes don't heal, or perhaps you've had surgery and you are still finding that you're in chronic pain. Often this can be with shoulder surgery or knee surgery, things like that, where you're noticing that the recovery time is extended, or maybe you're 6 months out from your op and things haven't changed. The other thing can be, obviously, if you're constantly exhausted and tired. Most people tend to compartmentalize the body, meaning that we look at the body as a separate functioning thing. So we look at the knee and go, oh, this is what's going on with the knee. Or we look at, the shoulder and go, this is, it's the joint, it's the muscle, it's because I did this. That's why it's not actually healing. And in truth, we are multi-dimensional beings. And what that actually means is that there is emotional aspects of ourself, there is physical aspects of ourself, there is mental aspects of ourself, and there's spiritual aspects of ourself. And there's a couple of different layers, but they're the main ones that I want to speak about today, simply because if these areas aren't being addressed, often these can result in these patterns of pain or these patterns of disease that play out within the body. There's a great book that I want to share with you guys as well, which is this book here, and it's probably showing back to front potentially, but it's The Secret Language of the Body. Louise Hay also has a great book on this called Heal Your Body, and it's really understanding and looking at the deeper causes of the emotional and the mental patterns that cause disease within the body. Now, if you don't think this is true, ask yourself for a second if you've ever been stressed, and have you had a physical response to the mental stress? Of course you have. Our stomach tightens, our digestion often goes, off track. There are so many different aspects biologically that happen within the body when we imagine, a particular stress. And if you think about it, anything that you're thinking about, you're creating an image around. That image also then drives the emotional state of what we're actually responding to, just like we would if we were watching a movie and you're seeing a movie that perhaps is, fear-based, or it might be a thriller or a scary movie or something like that, and your body's having a biological response to watching the movie, even though it's not real. This is what's going on inside your mind every single day. So when we're focusing on things that are stressing us, that are worrying us, perhaps it's a relationship, perhaps, you've got this massive to-do list, perhaps you are putting way too much pressure on yourself to get things done. That's a pattern of mine for sure. Perhaps you believe that you should be doing more. Perhaps you feel guilty. Like all of those different things definitely impact the body in so many different ways. And one of the best statements that I ever heard around constant exhaustion, fatigue, and burnout is, if you're chronically exhausted, stop doing the things that you chronically don't want to do. And I just thought, wow, that's so powerful because often, chronic fatigue, exhaustion, burnout, all those things come from not actually tuning in, not listening to our heart, not following what's right for us from this place. And it's one of the hardest things, really, when we have some limiting beliefs or some beliefs around who we are or who we need to be in order to get love and approval. And often a lot of those programs are subconscious and not, you're not even consciously aware that they're actually running the show. And this is where we can kind of get hijacked from our subconscious programming and feel unable to stop those behaviors. We feel unable to stop overgiving and, even overeating or emotional eating. And it's just like, you shouldn't be doing that. Differently, but the behavior is not matching up with what you actually know. And this is where some of the challenges lie. Hey, Sandra, great to have you on, Dylan. This is where some of the challenges lie, and why sometimes these patterns keep repeating within themselves, because we actually haven't got the deeper message or the deeper understanding as to what's actually really going on with the physical body. A couple of different things, just for example, if you're experiencing a lot of back pain, often that can be in support. Now, you may feel unsupported by those around you or unsupported by life. You may also, if you dig deeper within yourself, notice that is actually merely just a reflection for potentially how you may not be supporting yourself. A lot of these things can be quite confronting when we start to really look at them. Shoulders normally always relate to responsibility or feeling burdened by carrying a weight or shouldering a responsibility. I know for me, certainly as a single mum over the last 12 years, I would often get tight or tense shoulders. Left side is, sorry, I'm pointing to the right side, but it will be mirror opposite for you guys, I think. Left side of the body is all about our feminine aspect. It is all about being able to receive, being able to nurture ourselves and receive nurturing from others. It's also more about our inner world or our emotional world. The masculine side is the right side of the body. And that relates totally to money, career, finance, but also our masculinity. So feeling focused, feeling driven, feeling able, confident, able to step forward confidently in the world, able to put ourselves out there. All of those things relate to that right side of the body. So tapping into where perhaps you may be experiencing some pain within your body, and maybe, certainly I have had at times repeating kind of theme through the left side of the body. So it might be, I've got like a twinge in my shoulder, or something's going on with my left knee, and then I'm noticing something in my calf muscle. All of those things. Calves tend to relate. If you've got pain in your calves, they go directly back onto the adrenals. Through kinesiology, lots of different muscles relate to certain meridians within the body. Each of those meridians or channels of energy through the body. Acupuncture system's been around for about 2,000 years, fairly well proven in terms of the energy that is running through the body. So if any of those energy pathways are blocked, often it can be the muscle that is very, very sore, or is unable to function properly. So that means, when you go to lift something and you're like, what's going on there? Often that can be because there's something, either an emotional, nutritional, or mental block that's kind of blocking that particular pathway, and often goes with the emotional theme. So, a lot of the shoulder muscles at the back on the scapula or the shoulder blade definitely relate to the heart meridian. So often, a lot of people, and I remember going to course years ago, and somebody was like, oh my gosh, I've got this pain here, I'm like, have you lost a male, a loved one in your life recently? And they were just like, what? How the hell do you know that? And it's because these patterns show up within the body. Digestion, how you assimilating life. Are you biting off more than you can chew? Are you able to take life in? Are you able to digest life? Are you able to create flow within your life? Legs are all about being able to move forward. If you have pain in your legs or your ankles, hips, knees, hips tend to be more about your core stability. If you think about what the hips do on a physical level, and this is true with anything within the body, you can intuit this for yourself. What is the physical function, and how might that apply to you emotionally? So just the same as the skeletal system, the back, the spine supports the body, then again, how are you supporting yourself? Or do you allow yourself to receive support? Or do you say, no, it's okay, I've got this? Do you feel like you've got to do it all by yourself? And like I said, a lot of these patterns are deeply, deeply ingrained. So they can be really challenging to move or to shift or to change if you do not know how. Hey, Diana, great to have you on, darling. So doing or working with somebody to actually clear those patterns is absolutely essential, and is certainly, I can recommend obviously the modality of kinesiology, and Diana is a fellow kinesiologist, which is fabulous, as well as, doing some deep belief work and emotional shifting. I'm currently learning or going through a new training. I've got loads of tools and strategies which are absolutely incredible, and I'm super excited about this new training, which is really allowing a lot of shifts and changes to happen and occur in a very, very short space of time, and certainly in a very profound way that I've never experienced this degree of shifting and clearing things very, very quickly. And so it's a very, very exciting thing to be bringing in and being able to work with my clients in that particular manner as well. But if you have had chronic long-term pain, if you are exhausted, if you're a burnout, that is exactly my awesome source. It's what I love to really support people in. I've been through burnout 3 times personally myself. I understand it very well. The last time I was able to really step back and observe and also experiment with what made the biggest difference, because often often, like I said at the start, we need to look at those 4 levels of your connection to self or your spiritual self. Also the obviously the emotional patterns that play out, and if you think about it, there's probably 5 different emotions that you experience each day, and they'll probably be fairly habitual, and some of those may not be the emotions that you love to experience either. And again, they will have a pattern of disease that plays out within the body as well. So yeah, Diana, I'll reach out to you, darling, and pass that on as well, because it is really, I'm like literally gobsmacked. I've been doing, my own, I've invested over 280,000 in trainings over the years, 290,000 now actually when I think about it, over the years. And this, has just been an exceptional training that I'm truly excited to bring this new tool to people as well, and be able to really support them in their progress. I kind of liken it like a few of my other tools, which I found amazing over the years. They've helped me to really radically transform my life in so many ways, but it kind of feels like they're the horse and cart, and this is the V8 supercar when I compare the two. So it is very, very, very powerful. So thinking about all of those things, guys, remembering you've got to look at the physical, the mental, the emotional, the spiritual. If you are not sure on how to do any of that stuff, please reach out to me. If you are suffering, if you are in exhaustion, fatigue, or you have strong body patterns that you've locked down emotion, you have suppressed trauma from the years, and a lot of my beautiful soulmate clients that I am so privileged and blessed to work with have often experienced deep traumas and locked or suppressed a lot of that away. And if that is not dealt with, that will continue to play out patterns of disease. And the more challenging thing is that still gets passed down our generational line in our lineage. So it gets encoded into the DNA, held within the cellular memory. And if you, unsure of all of that stuff, go check out Joe Dispenza's stuff. He, has proven it again and again, as has Bruce Lipton with Biology of Belief, in how all of this gets stored within the body. And epigenetics is really the study around all of that. It is really, really powerful work, and if you're frustrated, if all the other methods have not worked, please reach out to me, and let's have a conversation, and let's get you out of pain, guys. And let's get you back to full living, feeling like yourself again, because you absolutely deserve it. So have an amazing rest of your day. Loads of love to you, and so much gratitude for jumping on here. And if you know somebody that perhaps is experiencing a lot of exhaustion, fatigue, or maybe you've just noticed that they're not quite themselves recently, or they've undergone surgery, a while ago, but seem to be having either a very slow recovery or not recovering, please pass this video on to them, share this, let's spread the word. And that book that I mentioned is really great, is The Secret Language of the Body as well. So it's a great resource, but like I mentioned, reaching out to me, let's have a conversation, let's help get you sorted and see if and how I might be able to help you. Have an amazing day. Loads of love. Bye.